Once, on a night not so different from this one, a young stargazer named Eli lay on a grassy hill, his eyes tracing the silent dance of stars above. The town of Starlight was known for its inky skies, so clear that each constellation felt like a close friend. But this night felt different, as if the stars themselves held their breath. Just as Eli was drifting into a calm, stargazing stupor, he saw it. A shimmering light drifting across the sky, soft and silver. At first, he thought it was a shooting star, but then it stopped, hung still, like a snowflake frozen in midair, and began to descend slowly, silently, until it disappeared behind the ancient oak trees at the edge of the field. Eli's heart raced, though his body stayed oddly calm, as if it knew more than his mind did. Rising to his feet, he walked toward the trees, the night so quiet he could hear his own heartbeat. As he approached the grove, he noticed a faint glow between the branches, a soft pulse of light, almost like the rhythm of breathing. And there it was, right in front of him, a vessel, unlike anything Eli had ever imagined. Smooth and round, it had no edges or windows. Its surface was like water under moonlight, shimmering and swirling. He found himself whispering a greeting, not knowing why. And then he heard a soft reply, a voice that sounded like the hum of distant planets, an echo in the silence of the stars. "Hello, Eli," it said, though its words seemed to drift into his mind rather than his ears. Eli looked around, but saw no one, only the strange vessel, still as the stars. He felt warmth near his shoulder and turned to find a being beside him, cloaked in soft, silvery light. It had eyes that were deep and dark, filled with the calm of galaxies he'd never seen. A gentle wave of peace washed over him, and his heart settled. "Are you from up there?" Eli asked, his voice barely more than a whisper. The being nodded slowly, the light around it pulsing in time with its movements. "We come from far," it replied, "from beyond the boundaries of your sight, to share stories of places your heart knows, but your eyes do not." Eli blinked, feeling as though he were in a dream, but he wanted to listen, so he nodded, and the being began to speak, its voice gentle as starlight. "We come from a place where colors float in the air, and trees sing softly in the night. There, every being, every creature has a name, and each name is a song. The rivers and oceans don't just flow, they remember. The sands are as old as the stars, and each grain is a story of times before any life was here." As the alien spoke, Eli saw images forming in his mind, vivid and clear, as if he were seeing through the being's eyes. A world of soft lavender skies, of moons so close you could reach out and feel their warmth, fields of flowers that glowed like embers in twilight, and strange creatures, gentle and wise, who roamed freely, weaving trails of light behind them. "And we know of Earth," the being continued, "for it, too, was once a part of the grand tapestry. Though we appear distant, we watch. We share the stories of your world among the stars." The being paused, its dark eyes looking deep into Eli's, as if searching for something. "But why? Come here," Eli asked. "Why come all this way?" "We come," the being said softly, "because every once in a long while, a world needs to remember. Remember that it is not alone. The stars above and the worlds beyond watch, waiting to remind you, young stargazer, that Earth too is a part of something far larger than the sky you see." The being reached out a hand, a shimmer of light barely visible, and Eli felt it brush his forehead, a feeling of warmth, like sunlight breaking through clouds. "You will remember this night, Eli," it said, "and one day you will share it, as we share stories of far-off worlds." Eli nodded, his eyes growing heavy, though his heart felt light and full. He leaned against the ancient oak and drifted into sleep, feeling as though he were floating among the stars themselves. When he awoke, The morning light was spilling over the hill, and the strange vessel was gone. He was alone, save for the whisper of the wind in the trees, a sound he almost thought was a soft, gentle song. And Eli, now older and wiser, tells this story on nights like these, when the stars are bright, hoping someone will listen closely enough to remember that they, too, are part of a greater story, stretching far beyond the stars. And perhaps, just perhaps, as they drift to sleep, they'll feel the gentle warmth of a hand from somewhere far away, as Eli did on that starry night long ago.